And welcome back to Let's Play Live I Live. Last time, we began the Dominion of Hate as Lei, Kugo, and Akira. This time around, though, I've wound things back a little bit and picked Cube as my starting protagonist, because there's a couple of unique interactions I want to show off before we get into the meat of the video. Last time, I demonstrated how Pogo can be recruited without a fight if you're playing as Lei, but otherwise you have to fight him if you're playing as, say, Akira, or indeed anyone else. That is not the only unique recruitment interaction. For instance, if we're playing as Cube, and we go to the jail cell that Masaru is hanging out in...
Who's there? A robot? Huh. You're a cute little guy, aren't you? Ah, should tell you my name. Call it a hunch, but I'm guessing you don't belong here, same as me. How's about you and me look around together? Yeah!
Masaru can't bring himself to hew a cute little face like Cube's. I mean, really, who could? Aside from the enemies around here. But yes, Cube can recruit Masaru without a fight, and since he starts basically right next to where Masaru is, that means Cube has probably the easiest time getting a second party member under most circumstances. Yeah, I kind of wish it was a slightly stronger one as well, but it is what it is. Now, there is actually another unique interaction for recruiting Masaru. Let's check that out real quick. As usual, I'm immediately contradicting myself. Don't worry, we will be looking at Masaru. He has a unique interaction with Sundown. However, we didn't actually see Lei's recruitment. We saw Samo's, but since we're here, let's just see how Lei reacts to anybody.
What's wrong with you, sneaking up on me like that? Huh. So I'm not alone here after all. And you don't look all that respectable either. Thought a girl'd be easy prey, huh? Think again!
Lei, I assure you I'm not a creep, I'm just an armed gunman. This is not gonna go very well for Lei, but I figured may as well show this off while we're winding the clock back a little bit. Granted, Sundown doesn't exactly, or, well, he kind of deals less damage. Ooh, that's actually unfortunate. He deals much less damage than you'd probably like in this battle. Let's see, let's go for the hollow point here. Oh dear.
Like that?
Yeah, that just whiffed entirely.
Huh?
Okay, back up here. Oh dear. Yeah, this is kind of the problem that Sundown runs into when going for his fights. But luckily, he has his quick draw counter. Oof. Yeah, Sundown has been nerfed heavily in this version of the game. Oh crap, and I don't have any items, so I gotta deal with what I gotta deal with here. Let's go for a hollow point here. If we can get the stun status to stick, we've got this fight in the bag. The pushback is also nice. Let's let Lei move a little bit closer. Let's see here. Yeah, I can use hollow point from up here and hopefully get that stun to go through. Now, if you had Yuin as your Earth and Heart Master, this actually is pretty good for Sundown, because Yuin joins without a fight, so you don't have to worry about getting into a rather nasty encounter. If you're playing as Sundown, you just immediately get another good party member. Of course, that only is the case if Yuin was your Earth and Heart Master. Oh, come on. I'm going with hollow point here just because it's one of the safer options we have. Though honestly, I should probably be going for a single shot. Let me see here. Let's back up a little bit. Yeah, okay. She turns, loses her turning. Oh, this is going terrible. Sundown, why are you so weak in this version of the game? Absolute tragedy. Lei is about as resilient to bullets as a Dragon Ball character. I suppose that's the ultimate result of her training. Give her another single shot here, and hopefully we should finish this fight off. This is not exactly going to the start that I was hoping for. There we go. Oof. That was a little dicey.
Not bad. I'm Lei, by the way. Lei Kugo. You're not from around here either, are you? A fellow traveler. So, how about it? Wanna travel together?
Who wouldn't want to travel with Lei? With that, we get Lei into our party. There we go. Earth and Heart Master acquired. Now let's make our way to what I actually wanted to show off.
Last thing I expected to see in the castle was a cowboy. Rather not go up against a gun. Should tell you my name. Call it a hunch, but I'm guessing you don't belong here, same as me. How's about you and me look around together?
Perhaps wisely, Masaru sees a gun and decides it's probably not worth testing his muscles against that. Though, given the performance that Lei gave against it, perhaps Masaru wouldn't have the worst luck in the world winning this fight. That's neither here nor there. Much like Cube, Sundown can also recruit Masaru without a fight, giving him an easy time getting a party together. Not that much of a help, since he still has to fight quite a few of the characters to recruit them, and he kind of starts really terribly in the HD version, if I'm being honest with you, but I figured it was worth showing off. There is one other thing I want to show off before we get into the main bulk of the video, and that is the different reactions we can get to Cube's battery when we find it on the mountain. Let's check out Pogo's first. Now, if you remember, when we found the battery as Lei, she was able to identify it as an iron box. But Sundown, and Oboro will all identify it as such. Akira was the only one who could correctly identify it as a battery for a robot. Now, Pogo, on the other hand... Pogo comes from a time before ironworking was even a thing, so he has no idea what the hell he's even looking at. Now, Masaru, on the other hand...
Looks like a part for... something.
What have we got here? A strange component? Yeah, putting that 25 IQ to work, Masaru is able to identify it as some kind of part, but not a battery specifically. Clearly, he's never owned one of those plastic trucks that I did as a kid that, you drove them around and they had those big batteries that went into them. Clearly, Masaru had a deprived childhood. With that taken care of, let's resolve the cliffhanger that we left off on in the SFC version last time. With that taken care of, once again, we find ourselves in Akira's special dungeon. Now, every character in this chapter has a special dungeon dedicated to them and their unique abilities. Akira's dungeon, ironically enough, is actually one of the most straightforward in the game and has little to do with his unique ability. Instead, you just get here by teleporting. Otherwise, this is a very conventional maze that we found ourselves in. And our goal, of course, is to get to the end and get the incredibly valuable item at the end of it. Each dungeon for each character provides them with a unique ultimate weapon. These weapons are far and away the strongest in the game, many of them providing special abilities. Let's see, let's get right up on this guy as he is the team leader, and we'll just give him a holy blow. Not overly concerned with what these guys do. As our party grows in size, we will find ourselves going up against tougher and tougher foes. Let's see. Honestly, just a simple bash from Pogo should be good against these guys. We'll let Akira get his holy blow off soon enough. Hopefully. These guys like to just play safe down a lot of fields. There we can see Masaru's low IQ coming not exactly in clutch for him. Let's see, a Lion Hand from Samo in this version should be good enough here. Holy Blow should be coming soon. Yeesh, that's taking forever to charge. That is probably the biggest buff that Akira gets in the, oh, well, that was one way to deal with that, but that is probably the biggest buff that Akira gets in the HD version, is that his attacks just come out a lot faster. Now, along the way through this dungeon, we will come across these blue flames. We can interact with them, and use our mind read ability on them, Worsted, words cannot express, to get a little extra lore. Now, one thing to note about this dungeon, like I said, its unique quality is that we get here using Akira's teleport ability, but once we finish it, we don't have to worry about that anymore. We will never get sent here after we clear it. That traitor, Worsted, he's the true Demon King. So, it seems like some of these lingering spirits have mixed feelings on Orsted. Some seem to recognize that he is a victim of his own sort of tragedy. Others still hold him accountable entirely for how things have turned out. Alright, I'll just finish this encounter off screen. These encounters should get easier as we gain some levels. Masaru just made it to level 8 there. As I was trying to say, some people seem to still hold Orsted entirely accountable for what happens, which I guess it's up to your personal interpretation how much fault lies with Orsted for how things have turned out, and how much of a victim of circumstance he is. One thing to note is that once this chapter is completed, you cannot, or this dungeon is completed, you will not be able to come back for any of this stuff, so make sure you search as thoroughly as you are interested to find all these things. This guy just says the same thing as the other soldier says, and then he takes forever to disappear. Fascinating, fascinating. There's another treasure chest over there. But yeah, this is otherwise a very conventional maze. Does not really take, like, super interesting advantage of, Akira's unique abilities. Let's see here. We'll go with a boom boom on this guy. Shadow Image should also deal some good damage to some of these guys over here. Oh wow, nice. That is one of the nice things about Pogo. He just hits hard in general with everything he can do. That dog descent that that caveman hit him with, that is actually also Pogo's own ultimate move. Unfortunately for him, he suffers some pretty severe stat penalties when he uses it. This guy does not have to worry as much about that. We'll use a Lao Hu Ziwu. Again, apologies for my slapdash Chinese pronunciation. It's not exactly my forte. Yeesh. There we go. Ooh, nice, an arm lock counter. One thing to note about that arm lock move, alongside the moves that you learn from Great Aja, that move actually runs off of your IQ or special attack stat, so it doesn't really scale that well as, or Masaru never gets any more special attack or IQ to work with, so bit of a underwhelming move for him, shall we say. Give this guy a quick kick in the groin, and there we go. Nice. Shin-chan Quan leveled up, got the monkey fist there, doing good on that. Something or just another option. I believe that's a speed-based move, so it won't do too much damage coming from Samo, but still, more options better than no options. Hey, this kid. Let's take a look into his thoughts real quick. It's a lie. Orsted can't be the Demon King. There was at least one person who, on some level, believed in Orsted, but that kid was not someone Orsted had personal rapport with, so I'm guessing his validation was not really something that helped out Orsted when he really needed it. Oh hey, new enemies here, or at least I think this is the first time we're seeing these guys in the SFC version, so I may as well keep my thought going, because I did actually have something I wanted to say about that Nightmare Helmet we just got. Thanks to Captain Wedgie for pointing this out to me. The Nightmare Helmet gives you immunity to the sleep status, so it's a pretty good thing to have for the fight against gynophobia in this version of the game, since sleep is a much more consistent problem from her in this version. Honestly, I probably could have just used a low kick there. It's only slightly weaker than the Holy Blow at this point. Holy Blow will eventually take off in power, but yeah, if you're for the gynophobia fight, that Nightmare Helmet is a nice little safety net against that. Oh, we got a whole bunch of puppies here, whole bunch of little dogs, and then this guy. I think a swift kick to the groin should resolve this fight in a relative hurry. Oh, wow. The guy must be wearing a cup. That's okay, that's okay. Pogo can just dive on his head with a, no, it's Boom Boom is the one that we're looking for. No, game, come on. Yeah, the targeting does not always look for the most practical opponents. And with that, his dogs are now left alone, stray, unwanted, and unloved. Oh, I kind of bummed myself out there. Alright, so this guy is probably just gonna say, Orsted, it can't be, or something like that. But just for the sake of words cannot express, yeah. So anytime we see these knights in armor, we can just assume they're going to say that. But we've got to check these, just for the sake of making sure we see everything. Yeah, this guy's just gonna say the same thing, so we'll just ignore him for the time being. Well, and by the time being, I mean the rest of this video. Hey, a holy water, very nice. Very nice indeed. As a matter of fact, I should equip that coral ring, because I believe that gives us some status immunity. Good idea to have as much of that as possible. Speaking of status immunity, that's something to keep in mind for the ultimate weapon we're going to be getting by the end of this. Hey, it's the king! I wonder what the king's thoughts on this. I think if anybody can appreciate the tragedy of the situation, it's this guy. This is the end. Lucretia's fallen. Surprisingly low-key comment from the king, but I suppose at this point, doesn't really have much else he could possibly say. Got a giant meaty bone from that fight. Would have been handy earlier when I needed to feed Samo, but whatever. Oh. This looked like a way down. Is it? Or am I just crazy? Yeah, I'm just crazy. So, that's just a nice dead end. Game trying to confuse me there. Oh, hey, new enemy. Ishtar can be pretty dangerous. She's kind of like an uber elite enemy. Let's have Akira prime up a Holy Blow. We'll have Pogo go for just a simple Bash Bash. Despite being his first technique, Bash Bash is just really good damage on the whole. Here comes Escher Space. Alright, let's see what... Ooh! A little bit of drunkenness going around here. Fortunately, we've got a Holy Blow coming on through. Let's see, her Mobius Rondo. Oof. Yeah, Ishtar not really messing around. Let's go with a... Not a Lion Hand. Actually, let's, oh, he's drunk, so he can't use charge attacks. Yeah, that's another thing that drunkenness can do to you. Let's, just, go Long Hu Liang Puan. Did I read that all right in sequence? Give some nice debuffs. Ooh, here comes Escher Space. Akira is out of the fight. Oh, dear. We might have to run away from this one. Yeah, actually, just better safe than sorry. We will flee. I believe if you use teleport, it can fling you out of here, meaning that you'll have to do a bunch of teleports again to try and get back in. So we'll try to avoid that as best we can. This is just another generic night. There's one NPC in particular I'd like to bump into before we get done with this dungeon. Fortunately, that encounter wasn't as bad as the encounter with Ishtar. She can be pretty nasty. Nah, this is just another generic soldier. We'll make our way out of here. Okay, I don't believe we want to go up those stairs, so let's head over this way. And through this door right here, further on down into the dungeon. One thing I learned from that encounter is that a single enemy attack can actually trigger multiple counter skills, which is pretty handy. Hey, it's Strabo! Well, Strabo, I have to imagine you have some thoughts about this. Is it my fault? My fault that he's become this way? Perhaps Strabo has some lingering regrets about how he went about things. I believe he's a little bit more irreverent in the HD translation. If I can get a recording of that line, hey, it's Hash! I can only imagine what Hash thinks about this. He's come to mistrust people even more than I. Hash thought he had reached the true depths of despair, but he now knows how low it can go. And Uranus. That fool. Uranus not exactly happy with Orsted's decisions here. It's surprisingly critical given how much he believed in him, but our prize for this dungeon is right here. The Gutsy Glove, Akira's ultimate weapon. One thing to note about the ultimate weapons is that they can be equipped in your character's offhand for some reason, because they just provide worse stats than if you equip them in your main hand. And there is Aletheia. But the notable thing about the Gutsy Glove is that, well, first off, it is a sizable increase in power for Akira compared to Taiko's Punch. But also, this weapon is unique in that it gives Akira tons of status immunities, some very good resistances like paralysis, sleep, arm bind, and leg bind. He's now immune to that. He's immune to the drunk status in this version of the game, and I believe the charm status in the HD version. Regardless, this just gives you a ton of very good status immunities, which actually makes Akira a lot more reliable in fights than several other characters that are available to us, because they can't have quite the same degree of status resistance that Akira can, though Cube comes pretty close with his natural immunities. But I think it's time to see what Aletheia thinks of all this. Please. Please stop him, Orsted. And with that, she disappears into the ether. And we are teleported back to the castle courtyard. But that's neither here nor there, because we're returning to the HD version to take care of Lei's personal dungeon now. A couple things I want to note about the HD version of that dungeon, as well as just that Akira's personal dungeon in general, is that instead of being warped out when you talk to Alethea in this version, instead a portal will appear by where the Gutsy Glove was, and you can step on that to leave it. Once again, you cannot return to the dungeon once you exit. Teleport will never send you there again after you get the Gutsy Glove, so make sure everything that you wanted to do there is taken care of. There is one treasure that I didn't get in the SFC version, but I'm sure I'll collect it in the HD version, and if I can remember to, I will cut to me collecting it and going over it. That's all I want to say about that. Now, this boulder right here...
Hold on. Out of the way. Steady.
Can be interacted with if you have the Earth and Heart Master in your party, of course Lei in this case, and this will allow us to access her personal dungeon. This is the Trial of Skill, and this one has a very straightforward gimmick.
There might be beyond my skill.
But there are several doorways that are sealed off with specific boulders, and each boulder requires a specific skill to get through.
Another boulder.
If you happen to come across a boulder that requires a skill you don't happen to know, Lei will simply say, I do not have the ability to break it at this moment. So let's see, Grace and Guile are formidable weapons. That's what he'd say if he were here. That is letting us know that we want to use Wise Fox's Grace to smash this boulder. After that slightly inelegant cut, we can move on. I've added Masaru into my party as opposed to Pogo in this version of the game, because I do actually want him to start gaining some experience and levels. We're going to ignore that guy for right now, and move past him to open up that chest to get a Glove of the Goddess. Let's see, how does that compare to the Mantis Fist? Lower physical attack, but better special attack. Also slightly lower speed. Actually, let me see here. Masaru, he has the Bang Glove on right now. What if we gave him that? That would bring up his special attack, which would make some of his moves stronger. Let's see. What about you, Sundown? Yeah, that's a pretty huge defense gain as well. Does that actually give him any resistances? It gives him light resistance. That's pretty cool. We'll give that to Sundown right now, just to get some better equipment onto him. That guy will appear in several rooms in this dungeon, and if you interact with him, you will be thrust into a battle with him. Let's hit this boulder right here.
Cracking this boulder might be beyond my skill.
Unfortunately, we do not have the move to actually crack it, so we'll have to ignore it for right now, but we'll be able to come back for it later. What does this one require? Let's see, a simple test. With left and right, the twins of power and potency. I strike. Let me see. Oh, I actually have to think. Oh, Tiger and Dragon's Rebuke, of course. Simple enough, simple enough. With that smashed, once again, we can continue onward. Heading into here, we'll find that guy wandering around once again, plus another chest, a loin guard. That sounds like a good thing for Masaru. Let's see how that compares to his tiger attire. Can he use it? That's better defense, but do I want to lower his attack power? Actually, you know what? Well, physical defense rather than overall defense, but you know what? Let's give it to him, and let me see. Does it give him any additional resistances? Not really. Well, it gives him light resistance. We'll give it to him. I just think the idea of putting him in a loincloth is a little funny, okay? With that taken care of, we can ignore that guy once again, move ever deeper into the dungeon. Let's see here. Let's follow this way back, because we of course saw that chest there. Can't leave any treasure left uncollected. Moving on up here. And let's grab this treasure chest. Actually, this isn't where I thought I'd be taken to. A flask of holy water. Very nice, very nice. What about this boulder right here? Yeah, this is beyond our skill at the moment, so we'll just ignore it for right now.
Oh, Lay. So long it has been. What fun we will have.
This guy's dialogue has actually been toned down slightly in the HD version. Let's just say he was a little bit more aggressive in a more specific way in the SFC version, and leave it at that. This is the Bountiful Heart. He is weak to these, well, the Starlight Strike element, which I forget which that one is. There's so many different attacking attributes, so we'll debuff him like that. He has a bunch of random comments that he will say. We'll just, oh dear. Obodomaru seems to be a little, shall we say, out of sorts here. We'll just hit this guy with a Shuriken Barrage. Not bad, not bad. Got a very powerful sword backing up those attacks right there. Oh no! Now Obodomaru is feeling a little under the weather, shall we say. Let's have Sundown move up this way. Get hit with a Relentless Pursuit, unfortunately. Oof. But a counter quick draw should do us some good there. The reason I want to get up here is I want to, well, I wanted to try and get behind him, to try and hit him with a brush fire with more accuracy. 5 hits there, actually did pretty good damage on par with a Shuriken Strike. Let's hit this guy with another Starlight Strike. The Bountiful Heart is not really a tough opponent, he's mostly just an annoying one. As you can see, he's just, Don't get too excited, my friend. He's just very durable on the whole. Ooh, Monotoss should deal some good damage to this guy. Let's hit him with one of these. Nice! Very good, Masaru. When Masaru strikes a weakness, he does deal some pretty solid damage on the whole. I do have a tendency to rag on him a little much, but he's not as bad as I make him out to be. I just am not a huge fan of him. Okay. One more solid hit, actually one more Starlight Strike, and we should have this fight in the bag. Poor Masaru, but that's okay. We've got this fight. There we go. Bountiful Heart defeated.
No shame in losing. None to you.
You're all talk.
Another level up for Masaru there, offsetting the stats that he lost from unequipping his previous armor. So this way is a dead end. Let's make our way back. Fortunately, it does not seem like we get into any normal encounters until we actually finish this dungeon, which I am all for. Heading down this way, we just have to look for more boulders we have yet to smash, more doorways we have yet to traverse. Let's see, we'll head this way next. Checking out through here. Hopefully we can avoid any more encounters with the Bountiful Heart. We just want to maneuver around this guy a little quickly, juke him like that. There we go. Hey, look at that, a vial of Bale's blood. Can we break this one?
Another boulder.
Alright, this one we actually can smash. Dancing in and out of rage. A clever thief. Not unlike the one I was. Cat's Reproach, maybe?
That won't.
No. So if you get the wrong one, she'll say that won't cut it. Dancing in and out of rage. Oh wait, maybe Traveler's First... No, Monkey's Withdrawal? Yes, there we go. I don't know, I think it would be a little clever if you had to use some of your unique skills to get through this one. There we go. Smashing through that. Actually, I'm not really sure where we ended off. Let's try that boulder in the center there. This one
Another boulder.
can be smashed with, let's see. The King of Beasts yields to none. He would brush aside this boulder with ease. Well, that's gotta be Lion's Dismissal. Let's nail it with that. Kapow. As you can see, there are a variety of ways you can get through this dungeon, so much like Akira's, it's a bit of a maze with just a slight bit more of a gimmick. Oh, that was a mistake.
Lay. So long it has been. What fun we will have.
Well, that was annoying, but we get our treasure here. Look at that, a vial of Amon's blood. Very good, very good. Making our way down here. And let's see, we have a couple of ways that we haven't gone. Let's try going down this way and taking that other path that I neglected before. Actually, you know what? No, let's go this way. What have we got over here? Going through this cave, and winding around this corridor. Just another bountiful art. I don't think this is the way we want to go, so let's double back. In general, if we can smash through a boulder, I think that's more prudent to do. Now, if we were at level 16, there are a couple more of these boulders that we could smash. Any boulder that I'm not able to smash at this point, it's because we need to use Heavenly Peak's Descent on it, which is, I believe, is the only move from the Earth and Heart arsenal that we have not yet learned. With another Wise Fox's Grace, we have smashed through this boulder. Yeah, this is not the most exciting dungeon. In fact, it can be quite tedious if you get into a bunch of bountiful heart fights, like we're about to here, but hey, there's our prize.
Oh. So, perhaps, though, one final time, we dance!
Yeah.
Huzzah! Huzzah! I knew you would agree.
Despite the special dialogue there, that's literally the same exact encounter as if we fought him anywhere else. For defeating him that one last time, though, and he's completely gone from the dungeon now. Would you look at that? A Nunchaku the Master. Nunchaku? Whatever. We can play ping pong with it now. This is actually one of the less interesting ultimate weapons in the game. It is just a pretty straightforward statistical upgrades, though it does increase a wide array. That defense bonus in particular will be much appreciated. But with this, Lei has officially capped her speed. Any stat between your natural stat and the equipment you have on cannot go past 150. So yeah, Lei is looking pretty sturdy here. This does not provide any status immunities like Akira's weapon does. It's just a pure stat upgrade, and again, not one of the more interesting ones in the game, but still a much appreciated one. With that taken care of, let's take on the next dungeon inside the or the SFC version. Back in the SFC version, I think we're ready to do Cube's personal dungeon. This one actually is very easy to do right out of the starting gate and is a pretty considerable upgrade for Cube, because this one has no combat at all. In fact, if you pick Cube as your main character, I'd recommend beelining for this area. Pick up Masaru in the dungeon and then make your way over here. This is entirely a puzzle-based area. Welcome to the Labyrinth of Intelligence. I am the intelligence of Cube. Strength is unnecessary here. Lateral thinking and a calm composure will guide your mind to a new level. This chair will connect us from here on out. Speak to the chair and I will come. So, we have Chair Buddy. The intelligence of Cube occupies the chair like a, I guess, friendly ghost. And if we need hints on how to solve the puzzle, we just need to take a quick mental seat. The first test lies ahead. Rearrange the red floor. First width, then height, both at last. Interesting. Let's take a look at what we've got here. So, first, I see, so, let me see. Looks like it reverses our controls as we go across it, so let me see. First, width? Okay, and that backs us up when we step off of it. And we just need to look or make our way through here. Sorry, getting a little confused here. Then, as we make our way up to this one, it reverses our vertical controls. And then on this next floor here, our horizontal and vertical controls get inverted. Or rather, it looks like they get rotated. Let me see here. We want to go up and then hold left. There we go. Much easier than the rather poor explanation he gave there. This is the Chamber of Mirrors. Follow your image in the mirrors, and a white sphere will show you the way. Speak to me if you wish to restart the test. Interesting. Okay, I see. So we gotta restart the test here. This is a Chamber of Mirrors. So the reflected image of the cube there will tell us which way we need to go. So we need to head right again. and he's looking at us right now, so in order to get reflected, we'd need to go up, go up, go up. Now he's looking to the left, so we'll go left. Then he's looking there again, and that guides us to the sphere, allowing us to pass on through. Very simple, very simple. One of your reflections will guide you forward, and the other will lead you astray. Alright, so, for this one, we just kind of have to guess, take a guess on which one we think is telling the truth. I believe it's the mirror on the left, though, that is telling the truth. So we want to follow that one, and yeah, he guides us towards the orb. So, very simple, you have a 50-50 chance of getting that right on your first try, so just go with the one you feel like is telling the truth. Trust not these mirrors. So this one is actually much more straightforward. We have to go in the direction that isn't shown in the reflected image. So let's see. We can't go back. So once again, we just have to go right, then up. Let me see here. Then left, then up again, and then right, 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 and then up, and we make it, no problem. Pressing ahead is not the only answer. Sometimes to move forward, you must turn back. If you've ever played a video game before that has any kind of stock thinking puzzles, you've probably seen this one before. We've got an arrow on the floor, but sometimes it's not always, or rather, I think, no, we do need to follow this one, then this one, then, let's actually go up here. Follow this one. This one's a little weird. I do sometimes get led astray by how this puzzle works. Okay, there we go. Now, in this one... Welcome to the Corridor of Time. At its terminus, you shall ascend. This is the final test. Here, too, shall the spheres guide you. In time, you shall find understanding. This one's pretty straightforward. This is actually, you notice how we've got things laid out in the four corners, and not exactly a circle, but we can go around the room in clock-face directions. So if this was 12 o'clock right here, over here would probably be around 1 o'clock. And then what we have to do is we just have to access or interact with the orbs in a clockwise fashion. Interact with them all in the right order, and then you'll get to this orb and make it to this door. And inside here, we find Cube's ultimate weapon, the 17 diode. This puts us back at Hash's cabin, and if we slap that onto Cube, we will find that he gets a, the other hand, he gets a huge boost to all of his offensive stats, plus a slight speed boost. Not that he really cares about this. I don't think Cube has any notable moves that run off of his speed, but moves like the Dizzy Shot and the Maser Cannon will now hit incredibly hard, so very good upgrade for Cube. This is the only weapon you'll typically see for him in this chapter. I was pointed out to me that there are a couple of other weapons that he can wield, notably if you can get Taro Imo's bowling ball into this chapter, he can wield that weapon, but the diode just blows everything else he could potentially use out of the water, so that's not something that's really worth considering. Good upgrade for Cube, makes him a pretty potent party member, even if your only option is Maser Cannon, so definitely pick that up ASAP if you start as Cube, because again, that dungeon has no combat, so it is not much of a concern getting through it. With that, let's return to the final dungeon we are going to be checking out in this video in the HD version. Our next order of business is Masaru's personal dungeon, and I'd recommend getting this one done ASAP if you plan on using Masaru in your party for very particular reasons. This one is a bit unique. This one starts off with a boss fight. When Masaru is in your party, you will find this guy right here. I was trying to say before I got interrupted by an encounter, you find this guy right here.
The trial of power demands warriors. The strong alone may pass. Now prove your worth.
Well, I think we're plenty strong, so we've got this guy to fight. Apophis... well, that was Apophis-Thelo. As you can see, he has pretty low HP, but... Oh, whoops, that was not the move I wanted to use. I want to back up there. Whoops. Hopefully I debuff his defense. Nope, just his physical attack power. But one thing I want to note about fights in this chapter going forward is that I could trivialize a lot of these just by using the cola bottle, because that is just effective in most encounters as it is in the prehistory chapter, but where's the fun in that? Anyways, this guy should be plenty vulnerable to Fleet Feet, so let's go in with Fleet Foot. This guy actually has even less HP in the SFC version, so it can be a really easy fight there. Okay, so I want Lei to get in. Lei, I think with her Cat's Reproach, or maybe Traveler's First Step. I definitely want to use a kick move. Let's go with Cat's Reproach. That should be stronger since it runs off of her absolutely... Oh, come on! Her ridiculous speed. Unfortunately, Oboromaru does not have the Geta load of this Geta, so he is vulnerable to water tiles in this file. Oh dear.
My body fails me.
Let's pass to Masaru, and let's use a... I want to use some instant healing. Do I have any shrimp rolls here? Yes, a shrimp rice ball. Let's use that to get a moderate area heal going, plus some bonus stats for Lei and everyone in the AoE of it. Let's get Oboromaru out of the way of that. Jeez, this guy is just bullying Oboromaru. Let's get out of the way of the Heavenly Strikes there. He's resistant to that. He's resistant to Dust Veil. Let's just go for a Bloodlust, I guess. Not great damage, but we'll get some HP back onto him. Now, if I could get Cat's Reproach to hit, that would be nice. Oof. Well, actually, not oof. That wasn't that big a deal at all. Alright, hit him with a Cat's Reproach here, and hopefully we can get to there we go, much better damage. We can get to Masaru's turn. He can use another Fleet Foot, or any other kick-based move that he has. That's a horrible special defense coming in from Masaru. Oh dear, that's very unfortunate. Let's use our Unicorn Horn here. Where is it? We have a bunch of them, if I can find it. Where are the Unicorn Horns? I know I have some. Hello? Unicorn Horns? I've probably passed over it like 3 times. Yes, there we go. That'll cure any status effect that we have stuck on us. Though I believe it is a one-time use, so be mindful of that. Let me see. Let's go for Spiral Knee here. Petrification is a pretty nasty thing to have to deal with in this chapter, so be very, very mindful of that. Fortunately, there are equipment items that will give us immunity to petrification. You definitely want those. Not going to bother having Oboromaru go, because he's just not going to be able to deal good damage anyway. Going with Cat's Reproach and Spiral Knee, Fleet Foot, any kick-based move, really good idea for this fight. Alright, we should be able to get Masaru's turn in, get him with a final Spiral Knee. Not the cleanest clear of this fight ever, definitely getting petrified with Lei was a bit unfortunate there, but we win, we win.
Yeah! Gonna put you to shame, old man.
A whole bunch of level ups and new moves from there. Now, heading into this dungeon, the Trial of Power, you'll find a bunch, and I do mean a bunch. Try as you might, you cannot open the chest. A power surpassing all others ensures that it remains tightly closed. You find a ton of locked chests. And, strangely, there don't seem to be any encounters in this dungeon. Well, this doesn't really become a dungeon until you reach the end of it, funnily enough. The gimmick of this dungeon is that nothing will threaten you as you are going through it, but when you get to the end and get the ultimate weapon prize, then things become a little bit more complicated. But one thing I do want to note is that Masaru's natural physical attack has reached 99, so he's pretty close to that general 150 cap, and we're actually just about to hit that with the item that we get here. Would you look at that? A set of Champion's Wraps. With that, torches will begin to light throughout the Trial of Power. Now, every single chest that we saw along the way that was locked previously is open. However, there are now encounters in this area, and the encounter rate is quite high. Now, nothing we can encounter here is really different from what we can encounter outside the dungeon, so I'm just going to be doing a supercut of every treasure we can get here. Before we do that, though, Champion's Wraps. This is Masaru's ultimate weapon, and what is notable about this weapon is the absolutely ludicrous stat bonuses that it gives. It gives a plus 50 attack stat, and it gives plus 90 to your physical attack, so just equipping this will cause Masaru at almost any level to just instantly cap his physical attack stat no matter what, and it gives him a sizable physical defense bonus. Masaru becomes pretty powerful with that equipped, is what I'm trying to say there. Let's see, actually, let's bring up his special attack as well. I should equip more items onto him just to give him a little bit more power, like all these pretty flowers. Masaru is going to be doing good with this. There is stuff that I want to give to Masaru later, and there's a lot of stuff that I want to give to people later. Now, like I said, I'm just going to be doing a supercut of every treasure in this dungeon. Let's go. In this chest, we have a pair of mermaid tights. Also, as you can see, the torches along the way have also lit up out here. In this chest, we have a ice helm. Very nice. In this chest, we get a set of demon blood armor. In this chest, we have a golden top knot. Keep this armor in mind for later, because this has a use aside from being a good piece of equipment. In this shield, we have this chest, we have an amethyst shield. In this chest, we have nothing I can use. How tragic. In this chest, we have, would you look at that? A Glove of the Goddess. Hey, another one. Very nice. Just drawing attention to a specific encounter here while we're going through it. We've got these Chimera guys, but also we have a unique enemy in here, Pistachio. This guy is unbelievably annoying. He is heavily resistant to every attack type in the game, and when he gets hit, he will counter with Hellish Fragrance. This is a weak move that inflicts you with basically every single ailment in the game. It's not terribly threatening, it's just really annoying. He doesn't do anything except this counterattack. This is by far one of the most annoying encounters in the chapter. You just need a move that is capable of dealing enough damage to finish this guy off in a single strike if you want to get through this without a bunch of headaches. Otherwise, it's not that threatening. Also a good chance to show off Heavenly Horse Trample. This is a kick-based attack that would have been nice to have in the fight with Philip at the front of the cave. But hey, at least we have it now, right? Also, you get tons of levels going through this dungeon. In this chest we have, would you look at that, a pair of Charioteer's boots. Very nice. Just wanted to remark that we made it to level 16 with Lei, and now she knows Heavenly Peak's Descent. She can use this as many times as she wants, and it is her best single-target moves, as well as one of the best single-target moves in the game, because it just does huge damage with no charge time. Very nice. In this chest we have nothing I can use. Gotta love it. In this chest we have, would you look at that, a flask of holy water. Much appreciated, much appreciated. And in our final chest here, we have an occult pendant. Not really that useful anymore. We have a bunch of accessories we can equip that give just as good bonus to special attack without the penalties. But now we are absolutely swimming in good equipment, like this ice helm. Let me see. Yeah, it gives us water resistance. We'll put that on for right now. Yeah, I definitely want to divvy up my equipment, but that is really all I have to say for this video. When we return, we still have more unique dungeons to check out. 3 more, in fact. 1 for Pogo, 1 for Sundown, and 1 for Oboromaru. See you then.